Alright, so I'm gonna try to make this one a lot quicker than the last one because that was a pain in the ass to fucking chop up and put together. So today I'm continuing kind of the making of the Reckless in the Search for Love series. Just a little bit over the year anniversary for it. I realized that it was actually last month. So for me, it's just something that's really important to me. Obviously, starting my artist journey. So today, I wanted to jump into the first track of the album, Pound Cake. And also, I want to say a special shout out to Julian. Actually, I never really give him his props. I think after the initial couple months, but shout out to Julian. He was the one that actually did the interludes on the album. Just some old voice messages that I had dug up, so he said he was cool with it. But anyways, I go a bit into depth with this song, especially. Once again, on my website, I kind of actually did a making of the Reckless in the Search for Love series on my website as well. Again, I don't update it too often, but I wanted to have a little something on there. So if you want a little bit more in depth with all that stuff, with the album as a whole and just with that whole process, I will try to link my website. But if not, it's in my bio on my social media, so like TikTok, probably on Twitter and Instagram. If you, again, step back and look at the album as a whole, the way I have it set up, it is broken down into love in various forms, which again I've kind of covered before. But the first three songs of the album, Pound Cake, Thankful for Me, and Self Love, are about the love for oneself. And so Pound Cake was really centered around like this fake persona, this kind of mask that I was sort of putting up at the time. That, you know what I'm saying, oh, F this girl, F her, this, that, and the next, you know what I'm saying, oh, I don't need her, I don't need that, this and that, you know, but deep down it's really like, you're really messed up over this relationship that didn't work out. So that's really what Pound Cake is about. You know, just really being angry at the world, essentially. I think I was just really angry at everything at the time. A lot of relationships and things that just fell through. A lot of people were just, things didn't go right, and I just felt like shit was not gonna go right. So again, it's kind of just this mask that I'm putting up, this wall that I'm putting up, like, you know, oh, I don't need anyone else, I don't need this and that and the next, yada yada. Like, it just, that's really what the song is about. But I want to get into this beat and into the actual song, the content of the song. So I had made Reckless in the Search for Love. I believe this was the first song that was actually intentionally made for the album. But this was made back in, I think, 2023, so about 3 years ago now. 2023, May 2023. And so my production at the time was very like trap centered. Like, I don't really actually make a lot of beats or songs generally like this anymore. So it's always kind of fun for me to go back and just listen to the song because it's one of my favorites, honestly. So yeah, you see, this is pretty simple. There's really not a whole lot going on here, honestly. So for me, typically I'll start just, if I'm not playing something in, I'll start with finding something that I just gets the sound right, gets me, you know what I'm saying, gets my ear right, and just like what works. So at the time, again, it was really trap centric. So I found this like synth. So if I actually kind of jump back to the start of the song, so after I found that loop, this was actually one of the last things I did, but I'll just start here anyways. But I was like, I didn't want just the regular, you know, instrumental to be playing just like this, you know, to start the song. I felt like that was weird. So what I did instead was I actually jumped back and I just went into Shaper Box and did like a half, like what they do, half down. So it's like halftime, but only for like half of a bar. So that's why at the start of the song, you kind of get that. And then actually in the intro, which I've never had anyone actually say if they knew what was in the intro. But I have like this like little vocal part in the intro, like, again, kind of coinciding with what the song is about. And that section of the album, self-love and self-worth, right? So actually, the talking bit I have is, here, and it's actually from Mob Psycho. But it's that speech that Reagan gives to Mob, basically saying like, "You're good, bro." And again, that's where this section of the album comes from. So I guess for me, it was almost in contrast with the song. It's like, even though I'm putting on this facade, I'm putting on this mask of who I am or my view of, you know what I'm saying, my self-worth. It's like, it's almost like Reagan's giving me motivation and encouragement. Like, hey, like, I know you're going through this stuff, but like, you're good. You got this. You know what I'm saying? Like, just believe in yourself, trust in yourself, love yourself. So that's what that was. But realistically, there's not a whole lot left. Like I said, it's a pretty simple, like, trap style song. So with this hi-hat, I typically layer it with another one because, as you can hear, it's very like reverby. So it's not really aggressive in the song. So typically I'll layer it so that you get kind of, so you still kind of get that reverb on them. You can hear them, but just there's a little more punch to them. The mixing on this is just wonky. The mixing on the whole album is wonky. To me, I guess it gives it some character, but the mixing on the whole thing is wonky, and that's something I'm still working on to this day. Like, I don't know if I ever be satisfied with my level, but it's like I'm still working, still learning. But the mixing on this definitely was weird. Just based on every measure, you got your clap on it. Add it in this part. If it you know, typically I'll have, if I have like a clap or a snap or something like that, or a snare, like I'll typically try to offset it with like the opposite. So if I have like a clap, I might put like a snare to kind of offset with a different sound. Or if I have a snare, I might put a clap, etc., etc. So just had this snare to kind of, again, give it more of that trap feel. To me, it almost reminds me of like something that like Future or Uzi would be on, and that's what this beat has gotten a lot of comparisons to. So that's what the snare is really for, was to give it a little bit more of that actual like trap feel. You know what I'm saying? So, and then it just ends off with this little shaker that I like to add. It's kind of like a unique sound. I like to throw it on a lot of them. And then, yeah, the 808s, kind of play those by themselves real quick, but. All together, that sounds like I'm gonna mute my vocals. That's pretty much it. I do like to variate, like if I have a kick or an 808 or whatever, I'd like to variate it. So I do that like down here, but it's not like crazy different. Got a couple like drops and things like that in the song, but overall, like that was the song. Like, I can't even sit here and say like I wanted to. I think once I got to recording the song, about a year and a half after I wrote it, it was like I was having fun with it. But when I wrote this song, I was genuinely just like angry. But in writing this song, I think this was kind of like the switch that made me realize like, oh, like I actually kind of can write music, because I tried for a while before writing this, like years before, as a kid, as a teenager, like writing music, and it just never was that good. So I just was like, you know what, I think I'll just stick to producing. And this beat I tried to sell and didn't sell it. Thankfully, I guess. So, I think this song really made me realize like, oh shit, like I actually kind of can write. And this was this was one of the last songs I had wrote in the summer of 2023. I think I wrote, the other two that I wrote were 2011, and I think a song called Summer Haze that probably won't ever come out unless I just like throw it on SoundCloud or something. But it was like putting those together was like, oh shit. But then I took like a big year and a half gap of not doing it. But it's like I kept coming back to this song. I kept coming back to Pound Cake, and I was like, no, this song I feel like is actually like good. I was like, I feel like I'm not tripping. Like, I don't think the song is bad. And it really was the song I feel like set me off on the path to like, okay, I think I actually want to become an artist, and not just a producer. And I'm not saying that's like, oh, I don't be just a, like, no, I mean, like, I wanted to be able to do both, and now I'm kind of transitioning more to just the artist side of things. Um, but yeah, Pound Cake is again one of my favorites, and I think for me another reason why that is because it's probably my song even to date that has like the most just like wordplay, just like references, analogies, like bars that don't really get picked up. And I'll show one bar that never gets picked up, bro. Getting too wavy, I'm feeling like Jeezy. Records for acting, this shit is too easy. Chopping from my 42 on my jersey, no love for these bitches, I'm tricking the city. They're losing them. It's probably really hard to hear on here, honestly. But the bar was travel for miles, 42 on my jersey, no love for these bitches, I'm tricking the city. And I was like, that to me is probably like the best bar I think I've written to this day. I actually think that's probably the best bar I've written. Um, I'll let y'all sit and soak on that. If somebody can kind of pick that bar apart and get the correct answer, I'll give you a cookie. But that is probably the best bar I think I've written to this day. But yeah, I just wanted to give kind of a different perspective on the song and just kind of run through the beat, even though it's fairly simple. It's nothing really too crazy. So I'm having a lot of fun doing the series. I know this video was a lot shorter than the last one. Probably, I'll see when I actually upload it. But yeah, I would say go check out my website for a little bit more in depth, just kind of regarding this song. But it was a really important song for my career and just who I am right now, honestly. So yeah, it is, you know, a song that really tackles again who I am as a person, my self-worth, my self-love, and just coming to grips with sometimes stuff isn't always okay, but you know, you just gotta push through, and you know, eventually you'll make it to the other side. So I think that's all I really have to say about this song. There's a couple more bars I could break down, but you know, hopefully y'all you know feel like going to jump back and take a listen to it, and you know, just let me know. So yeah, appreciate y'all if y'all watch this, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Hopefully not too far off in the future, but